Good morning, everyone. It's a new week. Welcome back to Voice with Abby. This week, we're going to be talking about finding the best teacher for you and the importance of singing in your true voice. If you're on the start to your voice journey, it's so important to find a teacher that makes you feel good. So, I'm going to give you some tips on things to look out for in potential teachers. Does your teacher ask you questions? Does your teacher ask if something's feeling comfortable? And more importantly, do they make you feel like you can voice when something's uncomfortable? Then, when you bring the problem to them, do they make you feel like you can work through it? Or do they make you feel like there's not a problem at all? If so, it's really important to check in with yourself and think, am I being heard in this teacher-student relationship? I'm going to give you 2 examples of situations that might happen. The first one is going to be a really great example of what your teacher should probably do if you approach them with an issue. The second example is going to be something not so great, and if you encounter it, maybe realize that it might be a red flag. So, how is your voice feeling after that exercise? Actually, I'm feeling really tired and strained as I move into my high notes. Could you describe any specific feelings for me? I kind of feel raspy and like I'm choking the higher I go. Okay, I think a bit of straw phonation might be really helpful, so how about we try running a few lines of your songs on the straw and then see how it feels. So, how did it feel then? I felt like I didn't have to work as hard at all. That's great. Did you feel less work in your throat? Maybe did you feel more engagement in other parts of your body? Actually, yeah, I felt it more in my abdomen this time. Good. Follow that feeling and try to sing through those same few lines again. That didn't feel very good to sing. Well, it sounded fine, so don't worry about it. Should I feel so tense in my throat? Maybe I shouldn't sing high notes. It's just new. Singing isn't always easy. Just use more breath. Okay. Sometimes voice exercises aren't going to feel great and it's going to be new experiences or new sensations that you're not used to. But the main thing is my teacher listening to me? Am I being heard? When I approach my teacher with something, do they come back at me with negativity or do they come back at me with ideas and ways to help me? We all leave some lessons feeling down about ourselves or upset that we couldn't accomplish every exercise that our teacher asked of us. But the most important thing is your teacher leaving you feeling vocally healthy at the end of a lesson? And are you feeling respected by your teacher? Even if you might be emotionally or maybe a little vocally tired, does your voice overall feel better at the end of your lesson than it did when you walked in? It is normal to feel mildly fatigued, but your voice shouldn't really ever feel strained or painful by the end of a lesson. Every teacher has strengths and weaknesses in different areas. I want to clarify, there's a difference between a teacher saying, I'm not qualified to teach this subject, and being totally unwilling to even try. If you go to a teacher that's only ever taught classical voice lessons and they say, I'm not qualified to teach musical theater lessons, don't take that personally. Think, okay, well, this is what I'm looking for, so maybe it's time to move on to the next teacher. There can be cases, though, when teachers can teach you the type of music you want, but won't let you. And let's talk about why. Be really mindful of looking out for teachers that seem like they have their goals in front of yours. You're paying a teacher to help you get what you want out of voice lessons. So if you're approaching a teacher asking to do a particular genre and they're shutting you down, maybe it's time to look elsewhere. It's also important to remember that we're not always going to be singing things that we love. Sometimes teachers have really good intentions behind why they might assign a piece of music. If you go to them, try to just ask, why am I singing this? Because I don't love it that much. If they say, I'm using it as an exercise because I've noticed you need help through this area of your voice, maybe think, okay, this is going to be used as an exercise piece. It isn't something I have to hold on to forever. But if you really can't stand the piece or it brings something up for you that you don't like thinking about, your teacher should be able to find an alternate recommendation and still be able to work on those problems with you. And then once your voice teacher feels more confident in your vocal strength, they'll let you start singing things in genres that you really, really love. So look out for teachers that just won't let you sing things versus teachers that maybe have a reason and are pointing you in the direction that you ultimately want to get to. Does your teacher set boundaries with you and make you feel comfortable setting boundaries with them? Boundary setting in a teacher-student relationship is vital, and it should never be taboo. If you feel like you can safely set boundaries and your teacher can do the same, you're probably in a pretty healthy student-teacher relationship. The last thing I'm going to touch on today is, does your teacher make you feel like you can be yourself? It's totally normal to be shy in a new situation, and it's not easy to be so vulnerable in front of somebody new. But knowing your personality and how you usually warm up to new situations, how does your teacher make you feel in comparison to other social situations you've experienced? Do you feel like you can express your emotions regarding your music freely? Or do you feel like you have to hide how you feel about your music just to make them happy? And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for coming out to Voice with Abby, and I hope this was helpful.